Welcome to Daily Global Motivation, the place where you stop waiting, stop doubting, and start becoming the person you are meant to be through action and discipline. Today's message is about breaking free from overthinking and stepping into a life of action, progress, and real results. This is for those who feel stuck in their thoughts, those who plan but never execute, and those who know they are capable of more but hesitate to begin. If you stay until the end, you will understand why action is the key to success and how to silence the voice of overthinking. You will learn how to move forward even when you feel uncertain or afraid. This is not about perfection. It is about progress and momentum. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Daily Global Motivation so you never miss a message that can push you forward. Like this video to support the message and help it reach others who are stuck in overthinking. Comment below with one action you will take today after watching this video. Share this video with someone who needs that push to start. Your action could inspire someone else to move forward. Now take a deep breath, clear your mind, and get ready to take action. Overthinking is one of the biggest obstacles standing between you and your success, and it often disguises itself as preparation or caution. You tell yourself that you need more time, more information, or a better plan before you begin. But in reality, overthinking is just fear holding you back in a comfortable form. The more you think without acting, the more doubt you create in your mind. You start imagining worst-case scenarios, and those thoughts begin to feel real. This creates hesitation, and hesitation leads to inaction. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. You become trapped in a cycle of thinking, doubting, and delaying. But success does not come from thinking alone. It comes from doing. Action breaks the cycle of overthinking and replaces it with progress. You must understand that clarity comes from action, not before it. The moment you take the first step, everything begins to change. Many people wait for the perfect moment to take action, but that moment does not exist and never will. Conditions will never be perfect, and there will always be uncertainty in any meaningful pursuit. Waiting for perfect timing is just another form of procrastination. The truth is that the best time to start is always now. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates confidence. When you move, even in small ways, you begin to build belief in yourself. That belief fuels more action, and that action creates results. It is a powerful cycle that starts with a single step. You do not need to have everything figured out to begin. You just need to be willing to start where you are. Every successful person you admire started before they felt ready. And that is exactly what you must do. Fear plays a major role in overthinking because it makes you focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. Fear magnifies uncertainty and makes action feel risky and uncomfortable. But avoiding action does not eliminate fear. It strengthens it. The more you avoid something, the bigger it becomes in your mind. The only way to reduce fear is to face it through action. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges. This weakens fear and strengthens confidence. Instead of what could go right, fear magnifies uncertainty and makes action feel risky and uncomfortable. But avoiding action does not eliminate fear. It strengthens it. The more you avoid something, the bigger it becomes in your mind. The only way to reduce fear is to face it through action. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges. This weakens fear and strengthens confidence. You begin to see that most of your fears were exaggerated or unnecessary. Action brings clarity, while overthinking creates confusion. You must choose clarity over confusion. You must choose action over fear. Because on the other side of fear is growth, progress, and success. One of the most powerful ways to stop overthinking is to focus on taking small, consistent actions instead of trying to make perfect decisions. You do not need to solve everything at once. You just need to take the next step. Small actions are easier to start and easier to maintain. They reduce the pressure and make progress feel manageable. Each small action builds momentum and moves you forward. Over time, those small steps lead to big results. The key is consistency, not intensity. Doing something every day is more powerful than doing everything once. You must train yourself to act, even when you do not feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. And when you combine discipline with action, you create unstoppable progress. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. And without it, even the best ideas remain nothing more than thoughts. You can plan, analyze, and visualize all you want, but without execution, nothing changes in your life. Many people fall into the trap of believing that thinking more will lead to better results. But in truth, action is what creates progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. Progress builds confidence, and confidence fuels more action. This creates a cycle of growth that continues to push you forward. The longer you stay inactive, the more distant your goals begin to feel. But the moment you act, you bring those goals closer to reality. You must understand that success is built through doing, not thinking. Thinking has its place, but it should never replace action. Your future is created by what you do, not what you think about doing. And that is why action must become your priority. Perfectionism is another hidden form of overthinking that keeps many people stuck in place without even realizing it. You may tell yourself that you are waiting until everything is perfect before you start, but perfection is an illusion that cannot be achieved. The pursuit of perfection often leads to procrastination and inaction. You spend so much time trying to get everything right that you never actually begin. But progress is always more important than perfection. Taking imperfect action will always lead to better results than taking no action at all. Mistakes are part of the process, and they are necessary for growth. You learn more from doing than you ever will from planning alone. When you let go of perfection, you free yourself to move forward. You allow yourself to make mistakes and improve along the way. This creates momentum and builds confidence. And momentum is what ultimately leads to success. Another reason people struggle to take action is because they feel overwhelmed by the size of their goals. When you focus only on the end result, it can feel intimidating and out of reach. This overwhelm leads to hesitation and eventually to inaction. But the key is to break your goals down into smaller, manageable steps. When you focus on one step at a time, the process becomes much more achievable. Each completed step gives you a sense of accomplishment and progress. This builds momentum and reduces overwhelm. You begin to see that your goals are not as far away as they once seemed. Action becomes easier because it feels more manageable. Instead of thinking about everything at once, you focus on what you can do right now. This shift in focus is powerful. It turns overwhelming goals into achievable actions. Your habits play a crucial role in your ability to take action consistently, because habits shape your daily behavior without requiring constant decision-making. When taking action becomes a habit, you no longer rely on motivation to get started. You simply do what needs to be done because it is part of your routine. Building strong habits requires repetition and consistency over time. The more you repeat an action, the more automatic it becomes. This reduces resistance and makes it easier to stay on track. Good habits create structure and discipline in your life. They eliminate the need to constantly think about what to do next. Instead, you follow a system that keeps you moving forward. Over time, these habits compound into significant results. Your success becomes a reflection of your daily actions. And your daily actions are driven by your habits. You must also learn to trust yourself and your ability to figure things out along the way, because waiting until you have all the answers will keep you stuck forever. No one starts with complete knowledge or certainty, and that is part of the process. Confidence comes from experience, and experience comes from action. The more you act, the more you learn, and the more capable you become. You begin to realize that you can handle challenges as they come. This builds trust in yourself and reduces hesitation. You no longer feel the need to have everything figured out before you start. Instead, you become comfortable with learning as you go. This mindset allows you to move faster and make progress more consistently. You stop waiting for certainty and start creating results. And that is when everything begins to change. Taking action requires courage, because stepping into the unknown will always feel uncomfortable and uncertain at first. Courage is not about eliminating fear, but about moving forward despite it. Every time you act in the presence of fear, you weaken its control over your life. You begin to realize that fear is often just a mental barrier, not a real limitation. The more you take action, the more confident you become in your ability to handle challenges. Confidence is built through experience, not through waiting. You must be willing to take risks and accept that not everything will go as planned. Mistakes are part of the process, and they are necessary for growth. Each mistake teaches you something valuable that you can use moving forward. This learning process makes you stronger and more capable. Over time, you become someone who is not afraid to act. And that transformation changes everything about your life. Discipline is what allows you to take action consistently, even when you do not feel motivated or inspired. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is reliable and long-lasting. When you rely only on motivation, your progress becomes inconsistent. But when you build discipline, you create consistency in your actions. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. It requires commitment, focus, and a strong sense of purpose. The more disciplined you become, the easier it is to take action. You no longer wait for the right mood or the perfect moment. You simply show up and do the work. This creates momentum and builds confidence over time. Consistency is what leads to real results. And discipline is what makes consistency possible. You must also learn how to manage distractions, because distractions are one of the biggest reasons people fail to take action. In today's world, there are countless things competing for your attention every single day. Social media, notifications, and unnecessary tasks can easily pull you away from your goals. If you do not control your environment, it will control you. You must create a space that supports focus and productivity. This means removing or limiting anything that distracts you from taking action. Focus is a powerful tool that allows you to make progress quickly. When you are focused, you use your time and energy more effectively. This leads to better results in less time. You must treat your time as something valuable, because how you spend your time determines your future. Another key factor in taking action is having a clear purpose that drives you forward, even when things become difficult. Purpose gives meaning to your actions and direction to your efforts. Without purpose, it becomes easy to lose motivation and give up. But when your purpose is strong, it keeps you moving even during challenging times. It reminds you why you started and why you must continue. Purpose creates emotional connection to your goals. This connection makes your actions more powerful and consistent. You begin to see your work as
something meaningful, not just something you have to do. This shift in perspective increases your commitment and determination. You are no longer just working, you are building something important, and that makes all the difference. At some point you must stop thinking and make a decision to act, because indecision is one of the biggest forms of delay. The longer you stay undecided, the more opportunities you miss.
Decision creates clarity, and clarity leads to action. When you decide, you commit to a path and begin to move forward. You must understand that not every decision will be perfect, but taking action will always teach you something valuable. Indecision keeps you stuck in the same place. Action moves you forward, even if it is not perfect. You must trust yourself enough to make a choice and follow through. The more decisions you make, the more confident you become. You begin to trust your judgment and your ability to adapt. And that trust fuels even more action. This is how progress is made. Your life begins to change the moment you stop waiting and start taking full responsibility for your actions and your direction. No one is coming to push you every day, and no perfect moment will suddenly appear to give you permission to begin. You must become the person who takes initiative without being told, and who acts without needing external motivation. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a source of power that puts you in control of your future. When you accept that your results come from your actions, everything shifts in your mindset. You stop blaming circumstances and start focusing on solutions. This mindset creates clarity and direction in your life. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Taking responsibility builds confidence because you realize that you are in control. It removes excuses and replaces them with action. And when action becomes your default, progress becomes inevitable. This is where real transformation begins. You must also understand that action creates momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces you can build in your life. The hardest part is always starting, but once you begin, it becomes easier to keep going. Each action you take builds energy and reinforces your commitment. Momentum reduces resistance and makes progress feel natural. When you are in motion, you are less likely to fall back into overthinking. You stay focused on doing rather than doubting. This creates a positive cycle that continues to push you forward. The more you act, the more you achieve. The more you achieve, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more action you take. This cycle leads to consistent growth and improvement. And over time, it creates results that once seemed impossible. Another important lesson is that you do not need to feel ready to take action, because readiness is created through action itself. Waiting to feel ready will only keep you stuck in the same place. The truth is that no one ever feels completely ready before starting something new. Growth always involves uncertainty and discomfort. You must learn to act despite those feelings. When you take action without feeling ready, you expand your comfort zone. What once felt difficult begins to feel manageable. Over time, your confidence grows as your experience increases. You realize that you are capable of handling more than you thought. This realization changes how you approach challenges. You stop waiting and start moving forward with confidence. And that is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. You must also recognize that success is not built in a single moment, but through consistent action over time. Every small step you take contributes to a larger outcome. It may not feel significant in the moment, but over time, those steps add up to something powerful. Consistency is what turns effort into results. You must commit to showing up every day, even when it feels difficult. Some days will be harder than others, but those are the days that matter the most. Taking action when you do not feel like it builds discipline and strength. It proves to you that you are serious about your goals. This commitment separates you from those who quit when things get tough. You must stay focused on the long-term vision, because long-term success is built through daily action. Now this is your moment to stop overthinking and start taking action toward the life you truly want to create. You have spent enough time thinking, doubting, and waiting for the perfect conditions. It is time to move, to act, and to take control of your future. You are capable of far more than you realize, but that potential means nothing without action. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the decision to begin. Take that first step today, no matter how small it may seem. Commit to action, commit to growth, and commit to yourself. Do not let fear or doubt hold you back any longer. If this message inspired you, make sure you subscribe to Daily Global Motivation for more powerful content like this. Like this video to support the message, and help it reach others who are ready to take action. Comment below, "I take action now," to declare your commitment. Share this video with someone who needs that push today. And remember that your success begins the moment you stop thinking and start doing.